Welcome to the Mr. Shades show. Today I'm playing the horror Prelude. It's a game my friend made, Rowan from ScriptIt, made for the May 2017 Game Jam. Stumbling over my words here. All he told me was that it was a text-based adventure. So let's check it out, shall we? Oh, shit. Okay, my recording window wasn't quite as big, so let's see. Skitter, scatter, skitter, scatter, skitter, scatter, skitter, scatter. Scratching growing louder. The itching of my skin is burning, and the bone scorched within. You awake with a gasp. The cool air of the night fills your lungs, and the darkness blankets your eyes. Where are you? What is this place? Looking around, you realize you're in a small, run-down cabin. The walls are covered with holes, and through which a forested road is visible. The window on the opposite wall shows the woods, through which moonlight seems unable to penetrate. I think what the hell is going on a little more appropriate. You barely need to take in the room to know something is very wrong. You scramble off the bed and make it a few steps when you hear it. Skittering noise behind you. What is that? As you wheel around to face the skittering noise, it grows louder and the lights around you begin to dim. But even in the fading light and increasing dim, you see, under the bed, a pair of shoes. Shoes? As you dive for the shoes, the skittering peaks and the moonlight fades from your eyes. For a moment, the dark and din crash on you feel like a great wave, but as though they were a beacon, light erupts from them, burning away the skittering and pushing back the darkness. You scramble to your feet as you look around the cabin as it was, decrepit and silent. I need to get out of here. You quickly exit the cabin, stepping out into a dark, cool night. I should put the shoes on. You put the shoes on. As you do so, a huge bellow erupts from the cabin behind you. Look around. Might as well look around, You look back at the old cabin, which now stands completely silent. To your left is a forest. To your right is a road that leads south, cutting away through the trees. Well, I'll go into the woods, why not? As walk across the dark threshold of the forest, you look up and you see only emptiness staring back at you. The trees are so thick that the moon could not shine through. As you come around a particularly big tree, off in the distance you see a small flickering light. Go towards the light, man. Always. You walk towards the light. As you approach, you smell the aroma of meat being cooked and hear the crackling of the fire. As you pass into the clearing, you see a large fire burning in the center. As you move closer, you notice no one around. Odd that no one would be watching the fire, you thought. Yeah, that is actually really odd. As you looked around for anyone, a particularly large crack from the fire makes you turn around. Considering the fire, that a large log fell on a smaller log, breaking it apart. But that's not right. Logs don't break like that. As you peer down into the fire, you see the smaller log is no longer than the other and run around the pile of burning logs and branches. Also, there is no meat anywhere around. Suddenly, the integrity of the wooden structure gives way to the burning, and to your horror, you discover the source of the meat smell. Hidden under the wood is the half-burned away body of a person. Oh boy. Well, this just got a lot darker, didn't it? The skin where the fire had started was burned away, bone charred black. Unable to look away, you look towards the face. The skin had not been burned away. As it melted away, the face turned toward you. Frozen completely, unable to even breathe from the terror, she speaks in a dry, cracked whisper, "Run." Suddenly you feel something grab you and throw you to the ground. A great beast, illuminated in dancing flames, bares its teeth. As it tears your throat, and you feel the darkness consuming you, you look to the fire, to an outstretched arm among the flames. Found. What have we got, Detective Patel said as she strolled across the clearing toward the ash heap. They were found at about 9:40 this morning by Mr. Chamberlain. He was out for a stroll when he discovered the remains. Officer Hanson replied, walking over to the detective. You said they, Patel said back. Yes, Dr. Galbraith has identified two sets of remains. One he believes is a young woman, the other a young child. Patel looks over to see the remains of fire. Right. Well, let's see what we find. Then calls over Dr. Galbraith and let me know what you turn up as soon as possible. Is that it then? I can't seem to go any further. Alright then. Well, that's very interesting. So what would happen if I went to the different... do some of the different paths here? Okay, so this is the start. Let's go with what is happening here. What is under the bed? I need to get out of here. What was that?
Saskatoon berry chocolate.
Thank you. Okay, well that didn't end as well. Well, that ended quicker. So I'll grab these and go. Should put these on. Look around. I'll go along the road. As you run down the road, the only through your thought in your mind is escape. The terrible bellow still ringing in your ears as your feet pound the ground, the cold air tearing at your lungs. Soon, however, your legs begin to tire, and then you can barely breathe from the pain. The frigid night begins to close in on you, and even the moonlight is not enough to keep the darkness at bay. Behind you, you hear something, a low roar getting louder and louder. Wait to see what it is. Let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. As you wait on the side of the road, panting and out of breath, the roaring gets louder and you realize that this is not someone. It is something. Moving quickly, you dive off into the ditch. As you look up over the bank, a terrible sight greets you. A great beast charging down the road, its hide glinting in the moonlight, and it's igniting the dark in front of it. You duck down on the bank as the monster passes. The ground is shaking as it does. You watch after it, and that a little down the way it turns into the woods. I'm going to continue down the road. As you continue down the road, the cold night air seeps your skin, through your bones. It clouds your mind. You have a vague sensation of twigs and leaves on the ground before you. You realize that you can't stave off the sleep any longer. You lie down beside a tree as the darkness envelops you. Hunter found the kid this morning, frozen stiff, Officer Hanson said. Detective Paddle looked down at the small body, smiling. She said. Officer Hanson sat beside her. Probably just muscle contractions. I can't imagine that there would be a lot to be happy about. Well, anyway, move the father yet? Detective Paddle asks. Yep. Transfer up to the federal penitentiary this morning, Hanson replied. Good. Let the body back. Get the body back to the city. I'm sure there's some family somewhere that will want a serves for him and his mother. Service. Okay. Well, let's follow the beast this time. You follow Beast's trail into the woods. After a while, you see a light in the distance, and the cold air and the smell of meat. And this is the person. Yeah. And so I think that is all the possible paths. So I'll get back to the title screen here. Or wait, can I go continue? So if I dive into the forest, okay, so that's the fire with the woman. Oh wait, whoops. So if I go, wait to see what it is. Oh right, yeah, I already did all this. So that was the horror Prelude. It's got some interesting things happening. I'm interested to see where it goes. Actually, I really like doing these style of games, and because there wasn't much here, I went and did every single maybe possible position way to go. I probably missed one or two things, but my friend Rowan, he did say that he would like to maybe work on this more, develop it more. So when he does more, I'll probably play that too, and then go through each little area or way you can go. And then if he finishes the whole thing, I might play it all in one round, all in one video, and continue with the same choices, and to see how it affects, or if there will be some kind of carryover. depending on which way you went. We'll see. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching.